Hi everyone, Rob the Average Lawn Guy. Welcome back. So I recently had a major accident in my backyard. I was trying to light some fuel in a small aluminum bowl, but then it got out of control. So some of the fuel started to burn way more than I expected. And in my attempts to use a fire extinguisher to put it out, some of the fuel ended up spilling into the yard. So this is the picture right now. You can see all around this particular area, it is all burnt from the fire. And you can see where the bowl was laying right in the middle, and the fire ended up spreading throughout this small portion. Also, once the fire was out, I smelled fuel, and you can smell the fuel in the ground itself. So mistakes happen, and this is how you correct it. First order of business is to scalp down this particular area. I got rid of all the dead grass, and then I took a few soil plugs to determine how far the fuel got into the soil. So fortunately, it didn't get very far down, and at the same time, it didn't spread that much. And in the small area where the fuel leaked, I'm gonna have to dig up this portion of the soil and replace it. Now with fuel leaks, if you do nothing, it will recover in a few months, but I'm not willing to wait that long. Plus, we're still in the peak growing season right now in Georgia. So after I scalped this area and got rid of the dead grass, the next thing I did was to dig up this small portion where the fuel leaked. I'm taking away 2 inches of soil and replacing it with about 2 inches of sand. After that, I'm using a light top coat of potting soil. After the sand and potting soil is put down, I'm going to pat it down really well, make sure it's as level as I can make it. After that, I'm going to spread a little bit of fertilizer over this area, and then I'm going to water it in. After I water it in, I'm good to go. I can just leave it the way it is. Now, in order to encourage the Bermuda to fill in faster, what I'm going to do is take some runners from different parts of my yard. The runners I'm talking about are usually those stray pieces of grass that's on the edge of your driveway that you usually edge, or at the edge of your flower beds. What you want to do, instead of trimming them, you want to try to gently pull them and pull as much as you can down to the roots. Now, the more runners you plug in, the faster this is going to fill in. This is a technique that you can use to repair bare spots you may have. I posted multiple videos about repairing bare spots in which you use potting soil, but you can also use the method of runners and plugging it into your yard. It is real easy to do. I took about 4 or 5 different runners, and then I plant them into the soil. Now, I want to cover about 75% of these runners into the soil and leave about 25% exposed to the sun. Now, when you use this technique, you're going to have to baby the spot for a little bit. You want to make sure there's good soil contact with the plugs, and at the same time you want to make sure the soil itself hasn't moved due to rain. So if you had a lot of rain, you want to make sure to check on the soil, and if it moved or some of it washed away, you want to replace it. So after the initial fertilization of the scalped area, what I'm going to do is come back a week later and take a pinch of fertilizer and spread it only on the bare spot I'm trying to fill in. Doing this method will force the stolones, which is the above ground runners, to reach in and fill in the bare spot faster. Doing this every week and a half, 2 weeks, will encourage a faster fill-in of the bare spot. And in a few weeks, you should see this area start to fill in. So I'll definitely update this, and I'll post weekly videos on this particular spot. Now, I expect most of it will fill in by the time the grass goes dormant. But with fuel leaks, remember, you don't have to do anything. If you don't do anything now, it's going to come back in a few months. But keep in mind, if you happen to spill oil onto your lawn, you're going to have to dig it up and replace it. Oil tends to stay in the soil way longer than gasoline, and oil will stay in there for years, so that's not something you want to deal with. This is a video I shot a week later after doing this little fix here. Now, I have faith in using potting soil in order to encourage the Bermuda to fill in faster. Now, we've had a couple days of rain here where I am, so the rain has washed away a little bit of the soil, but as that happened, I'm just going to replace it. Hope you found this video useful. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.